guys, so 2020 is finally over. Yay! I love it how we're like 9 days into January and it's exactly the same. It won't go back to normal for like another year. Now 2020 has not been a great year for everyone. For films, however, it's been kind of weird. I mean, yes, a lot of films got pushed to 2021 or put onto streaming services. I saw about 112 films in 2020 and about 18 of them I saw in theatres. But here's the thing, we've still been getting great films. And I struggle doing this list because I have like 10 honourable mentions. That's how great it's been for films this year, despite having this pandemic. So I'll start with my honourable mentions. I've got my list right here because I can't remember all my honourable mentions off the top of my head. So the first film is Happiest Season. This is the best Christmas film since Elf. It's funny, light-hearted, it deals with serious subject matters. In years to come, I'm hoping this will be a Christmas classic. The Broken Hearts Gallery. Dave Montgomery and Geraldine Fissenarfen are just adorable in this rom-com, definitely one of the underrated films of the year. Driveways, a film that depicts empathy and kindness. Proxima, this was the first film to release in theatres after the first UK lockdown and is a film that we really needed at the time. Weather Review is another great film from my favourite anime director Makoto Shinkai. Baby Teeth is a gorgeous film that makes you cry in a heartwarming way. The Beastie Boys story is my favourite documentary of the year. It's a personal and passionate story what the Beastie Boys were. Let Him Go is a hidden gem of 2020. I mean, Kevin Costner and Diane Lane are great in this old-fashioned western. Run is tight, intense, edge-of-your-seat thriller that keeps you till the very end. Red, White and Blue is my favourite Steve McQueen small acts anthology series. And this is John Boyega's best performance to date. I recommend checking out those films, they're worth seeing. So my top 10 are subjective. I'm judging them on how they moved me and how they entertained me, but also on a filmmaking level as well. At number 10 is The Gentleman. Now this was kind of the first film I saw in 2020 back in January. Now Guy Ritchie's films have been kind of a hit and a miss over the past 20 years, but The Gentleman comes along and it goes back to what we loved about Guy Ritchie's earlier work with films like Snatch and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. I didn't know Guy Ritchie still had a film like this in him. A British criminal underworld film with snappy dialogue, memorable characters, narrative complexity. Everyone in this film is top notch, whether it's Matthew McConaughey, Hugh Grant, Colin Farrell. And number 9 is St. Francis, the most overlooked film of the year in my opinion. I mean, this one deals with hot issues like abortion, orientation, acceptance no matter the gender and past mistakes. And exploring it in such an immense heart and exploring personal themes such as depression and self-determination, but gives it that human touch. It's honest, funny, truthful, but in a believable way. And number 8 is Another Round, Mads Mikkelsen at his best. I mean, it's a film about 4 friends, all high school teachers, test the theory about you can improve your lives by maintaining a constant alcohol in your blood. And after watching this is something I want to do. This is a great character study on the double-edged sword of alcohol and what it can do to lives for those who are seeking revival, escape, release. And number 7 is Bad Education. I love films about true crime, about people who think they're getting away with it, but it all comes crashing down. Now, this film just has that momentum that builds over the course of the film. Edge of your seat storytelling right here. The teachers use the school money for their own personal needs. Alison Janney is just amazing and Hugh Grant delivers another great performance. It's something different from him. He plays his head teacher who steals money from the school but also cheats on his husband. But you still feel empathy for him because students look up to him. He made his school one of the best schools in the country. So he was doing bad things for good reasons. And number 6 is Pixar's Soul. I mean, I may not be on the same boat compared to a lot of people saying it's the best film of the year. To me, it's my favourite animated film of the year. This is top tier Pixar material. It ticks all the boxes, whether it's gorgeous animation, lovable characters, the level of heart to the story. It's a film that celebrates life, leaves you inspired and wanting the best out of life. And number 5 is Military Wives, the most surprising film of the year to me. I was expecting another Fisherman's Friends, in other words a grandma movie. And yes, Military Wives is a grandma movie and it has that cliche formulaic approach to the story, but I honestly don't care. I mean, it has an ensemble cast and at the centre of it you have this salt and pepper dynamic with Christine Scott Thomas's character, who's kind of by the books and wants to help other military wives. Then you have Sharon Hogan's character, who doesn't want to take it seriously and just wants to have fun with it. This is directed by the same guy who did The Full Monty, and this is an accurate insight of the lives of military wives and what they have to face when their loved ones are deployed on operations. And number 4 is Palm Springs. On paper, it's another time loop film, and at this point we've seen this done so many times, but Palm Springs changed enough to make it fresh. At its core, it's a romantic comedy, and it's definitely the funniest film of the year. You have Christine Miliotti's character, who's very new to this whole time loop. Then you have Andy Samberg's character, who's been in this time loop for God knows how long, who's pretty much done everything. For what's going on in the world today, I feel like Palm Springs is the most relatable film. And number 3 is Lynn+Lucy. This one was under the radar for everyone. I mean, it's boasting with these 2 impressive performances. Out of all the films on this list, this is probably the most human and realistic. It begins with the tragedy in this small town, then it becomes a larger study on mob culture that lingers. And number 2 is Parasite. And before you say, oh, Parasite came out back in 2019. Yes, but I live in the UK and we didn't get it till February, so I'm counting this as a 2020 film. Now, Parasite may not be the most rewatchable film on this list, but it's my favourite foreign film of the year. It's a social satire about 2 families from opposing sides in this class war. It uses visual storytelling to make a point. It doesn't force feed you its messages. It's thrilling, funny, suspenseful. It won an Academy Award for Best Picture. What more can I say about it? My favourite film of 2020 is Saint Maud. Now, I didn't know much about this film. I knew bits about it, but this was like under my radar. I was thinking about 10 other films at the time. Originally, I was meant to see another film at the cinema, but I didn't make it on time, so this was like a last minute decision. And I was so glad I saw this film. I mean, that's what I love about films. They surprise you on so many levels. I mean, for a film that only is about an hour and 24 minutes long, it covers so much ground. It's a slow burn, it's intense throughout. You're captivated. What's wrong with this woman? I mean, it's more than just a horror. It's a character study with dark and chilling moments. It's beautifully haunting, and that's why Saint Maud is my favourite film of 2020. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Go like, share and subscribe. Let me know, what are your top 10 films of 2020. Go check out my Facebook page, my Twitter page, my Instagram page. You guys are awesome. I got your back.